Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a check-in on how my no-buy has gone throughout the month of July, which is the first month of my makeup no-buy. And so I have some thoughts, I have some things that I've realized, and it was also just my birthday, actually yesterday, July 28th, the end of the month. So this month was filled with some gifts of beauty, which made the whole thing easier. But if you'd like to hear my thoughts about the first month of this no-buy, please keep watching and please consider subscribing. Alright, so July is always an interesting month for me. If you watched my first video, I have done a year no-buy before. And both times I've started it in July. I think that happens for a couple of reasons. I think, number one, I know that it's an easy month for me to start in because if there's anything that I do want, I can ask my family for it and they're incredibly generous and get me it. I also think that I'm a teacher, and so the summer is very much like my new year. I know everyone makes commitments on November 1st, but what? No. I know everyone makes commitments on January 1st, and they make commitments to themselves. But I have always found that July is when I feel that new year. It's like a new time to reset. It's a time where I read new things and consider my plans for the following year. And for me, the year starts in September and ends in June. So I've been a teacher for a long time, and I think before I was a teacher, I was in school. There was no in-between for me, so that's what it feels like. So July always seems like the month of new for me. So starting my no-buy this month really, germinated from the reality that I have too much makeup, certainly, and I was finding myself looking for stuff to buy, and it was weird. So I started it, and there you go. Now, before I started it, I did, in literally until 11:45, June 30th, bought makeup. And so I bought some things from Juvia's Place, and I bought, what else did I buy? I kind of panic bought. I bought that Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, whatever it's called. It's beautiful, I love it. Anyway, I bought all this stuff, and that also came in July, which made the whole thing easier. And actually, one of my overriding feelings that I've written down is that I've actually felt overwhelmed with the amount of makeup that I have this month. Not only the new stuff that I have, but I've started decluttering what I already own, and it's become, I'm having this conflict where I want to use certain products, but you keep hearing this thing, sorry. I want to use certain products, but I've made a commitment to make sure that I use each of my palettes, and I try to make 5 looks from them, and I post that on my Instagram. And so because of that, I stick with a palette for 5 days or 10 days or however long it takes me. And then I'm conflicted because I'm like, wait, but I want to use this other palette. And I've set this rule up for myself that I don't know if it's working. And that's kind of the first thing I want to say that or the second thing now. So the first is that it's been a really easy month, and there's a lot of makeup, and there's a lot of makeup in front of me that I'm going to show you that I got for my birthday. But the second main idea is that I'm getting to the point that I just want to use the makeup that I want to use. And so a part of that is going to come from me decluttering what I have and getting rid of all this extra stuff that I don't use and don't love, that is getting in the way of me using the stuff that I love. And let me give you a prime example of that. I decluttered my highlights, and highlight is an area that I don't really stress highlight. Like, I put it on because I like putting makeup on, but it's not an area of my makeup collection that I'm like, I just turned the light back on. It's not an area of my makeup collection that I'm super excited to use. So I decluttered, which was very easy for me to do. And I found this, and this is a Christopher Buckle highlight. I got this from QVC over a year ago, and it has pan in it, which I'm not sure. I think I've hit pan on 3 items in my life, maybe I've used a foundation. I've certainly used a sunscreen and stuff, but really, like, on products, it's not something that I do. And this has a cream, very glossy, like almost like petroleum jelly kind of looking gloss, and then it has this highlight. And together, it's what I'm wearing right now, together it makes, I think, just such a beautiful highlight, and I love it, and I love using it. But it was buried at the bottom of all these other highlights that I said I needed to use. So getting rid of those, now I've been using this every day, and I love it, and it makes me happy every time I use it. And so that's the thing I want to get at the end of this 6 months. I not only don't want to buy any makeup, I also want to streamline my collection into everything that brings me joy and nothing that doesn't. And I want to not feel bad that I want to use one product more than once. If you look at what I took on vacation, I took one of my favorite palettes, which is the Persona Identity palette. And I have posted so many pictures of that palette on my Instagram. And sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, I shouldn't post my look today because I'm using that palette again. But I love that palette, and I want to be able to use it. So I'm trying to, I guess a major realization is that I need to use the stuff I love and get rid of the stuff that I don't, and be okay with being repetitive. I have that same problem with my clothes. There used to be a time where I didn't want to wear the same outfit ever in a school year, and I've thankfully shed that because, number one, I had a whole bunch of clothes that I didn't like that I would just use because I hadn't used them yet, and number two, that was really expensive to keep up. So I've done that with clothes. I need to do that now with my makeup. All right. The other thing, did I say this? I feel like because we've been quarantined for so long, and now I have we don't know what's going to happen next year with school, which is like an impending fear of mine. I feel like I want a sweatpants makeup look. I want a makeup look that I put on my face that makes me feel pretty, that makes me feel happy, but that I don't have to think about, that I know will look good. And that's what I'm finding. I keep wanting my makeup to bring me comfort. Is anyone else like that? It's kind of weird, but that's one of the things that's like very much inside of me. I just want some makeup that is as comfortable as my pajamas. So I am going to find that, and I'm going to post a look on it and post a video on it because I think it's something that maybe it could bring someone else comfort to find that. Another realization that I've come to this month is, and I think I knew this the last time too, but it hit me again. I like to shop when I'm bored or when I'm stressed in any way. So I found myself sometimes at CVS. Like, I obviously am not walking into Sephora or Ulta right now because that's just dangerous territory. And I did take a trip to both of them for my birthday gifts that they provide, so I'll talk to you about that. But, I've been staying out of that. But I have been in Walmart, I have been in Target, I have been in CVS, and guess what? They have makeup. And I would find myself, like, going through the aisles, like, kind of wondering, like, are you gonna buy something? Are you gonna be honest if you buy it? Like, is there some way you can get something? And there's nothing that I want or need, literally. But I would find myself looking. So that looking to buy, which I think anyone who compulsively shops, you certainly know what I'm talking about, but that looking to purchase. And I certainly felt that this month. And it was very easy to talk myself out of it because I had so much makeup. I would think to myself, oh, if you buy that palette, you gotta tell, number one, so I like this to hold me accountable, but number two, you have to wait until you've used all your other eyeshadow palettes that you have planned before you can use this one, so you're not gonna be able to use it for like 4 months, so why bother buying it? So I was able to talk myself out of it really quickly, but the impulse was there, and I would still find myself walking through them. And I remember the last time I did my no-buy, I literally didn't even walk past, but I did this time. So I need to train that muscle again. All right, so let me tell you about my adventure going to, this drives me nuts. Let me tell you about my adventure going to Sephora and Ulta for my birthday gift. So at Ulta, they had a birthday gift, which was for July, it was the Orgasm Something blush. It wasn't just the Orgasm blush from NARS, it was the Orgasm Something blush from NARS. And I literally had decluttered it. Okay, so I have it in my bin to give away to my families and friends. And this was the gift. And in addition, they gave me a $10 off coupon. So I was like, oh my God, I need to go. I need to get this blush, which I literally don't want the blush, but I need to go. So I started looking online. I asked on my Instagram, like, does anyone have a suggestion for something to buy at Ulta? I started putting things in my cart, like a mascara, a blush, like things that were under $10. I wasn't going to spend more than 10, but things that I didn't need, but I wasn't going to leave $10 on the table. So I ended up going to Ulta because I didn't want to deal with paying for shipping or whatever. And lo and behold, they didn't have the blush, number one. They gave me this rose water toner from, I have no idea, Mamondi, maybe. Whatever. I say whatever to this. But they didn't have the blush, but I was able to pick up something that I've had my eye on, and it was actually $10. So I was so excited to get the Juvia's Place Tribe palette. Now, I am pretty sure the names of these eyeshadows are actually tribes in Africa. I can recognize some of them, like Tutsi, which is a pretty, I mean, most people, even if you don't know anything about African culture, have heard of that one. But I've heard of some of these other ones, some of the literature that I've read. This palette is very exciting to me. I'm excited for what looks that can come out of it. I think the colors are gorgeous. I'm excited for this, and it was literally free, so I think I did a really good job. I also had some points, and so I was able to get, also for free, this ColourPop Lippy. It's in the color Gold Digger. Now, I'm just going to swatch those there so you can see. I also had money on my Ulta card that you get for your rewards, and it was like National Lipstick Month or National Lipstick Week, one of the two, and I was able to get this ColourPop, that's the packaging, this ColourPop lipstick, Lippy Stick in Gold Digger. Now, I have several ColourPop Lippy Sticks, but I purchased them, I mean, it has to be like 5-6 years ago. They're really old, and I never really get use of them, but I loved them. I really loved them. I just think they're too old, and I've started to go through them and toss the ones that don't smell good anymore because they're a little scary. But this is the color. Wow, really found an awkward place to swatch this. Let's try here. Okay. So this is the color. It's kind of a rosy but a little browny kind of shade, and it's in their Matte X formula, which I have used. It's a very thin formula, and it lasts really well on the lips. It's not transfer proof or anything like that, but it lasts really well. So I'm excited to have this in my collection. I think this will be great in the fall. It's a fall lip color, but who's wearing lipstick right now? I mean, I am at this moment, which is a combination. It matches my eyes. But when we get to wear lipstick again, I'll put this on and it will be great. Okay, so I decided not to pick up my gift from Sephora. Now that's weird, right? So they had like 4 or 5 gift options. The one that I was going to go for was the Sol de Janeiro, or is it Sol de, I don't know, the Bum Bum Cream, and it had that and another one. Which I've heard like mixed reviews on their other cream. And I was going to get that. I'll insert a picture right here. And I could use my points to get $10, and I returned something, so I had $25 on a gift card. So I had $35. I'm like, okay, I'll spend it and I'll get my birthday gift. And the Sephora in my mall did not have any birthday gifts. If they did, I would have picked up the gift, but they didn't. And so again, I found myself strolling through the app and trying to find something to buy for $35 so I can get my gift. And I stopped myself, which I was pretty proud of. I just stopped myself and said, you literally don't want anything. In 3 months, this $35 will mean something to you when you run out of something or where you really want something. And instead of buying something that you don't want, just wait and forego the free gift. And I did. I was pretty proud of myself. I haven't spent it. I have that money ready to go when I'm ready. But I decided the free gift wasn't worth it. So there it is. I'm proud of that. Okay, so before I get into my birthday gifts, I just want to say one thing. I was on vacation with my family. We rent a beach house with our family, and we all go down for a week to the Jersey Shore. It was great. We didn't go anywhere. There was one time that we stepped foot on the boardwalk, and I could not believe how many people weren't wearing masks, and we got off the boardwalk. But besides that, we were all basically just the beach and the house. And what I decided to do for my skincare was to bring all of my little foil packets. So those, you know, those packets that you get thrown in with your orders at Sephora and Ulta, and also like that you pick up along the way. And I decided to bring those, number one, because I had so many. Number two, because I wanted to see what the use was. Like, did one packet mean one use, or was there more than one use? And I knew I wasn't going to get a real sense of any of the products, because you really should use skincare for, you know, a while before you understand how it works on you. But I wanted to just kind of test things out. What I found, packets that have lotion in them, like face creams and stuff like that, they last for usually 2 uses. The Josie Maran samples are really, really generous. So I had 2 Josie Maran samples of their oil serums. I loved them, and they lasted me like 3 days. And then one of the sunscreen and one of the argan milk, which I love as well, and those were 2 uses and really generous. Shampoo and conditioners are huge. Like, I couldn't get 2 uses out of them, but I was shocked at how much came out. I think if my hair was shorter, I certainly could have gotten 2 uses out of them. And the thing that I enjoyed about it was getting a chance to use them and then tossing them. So I went through quite a few of them over this vacation. I brought a couple back, and I forced myself to use some of my sheet masks. I don't really love sheet masks. I hate the way I look in them. They're terrifying, and they scare my children. And I also find them very slimy, and it freaks me out. And one of them was with snail something, and I hate snails. They bother me. That and slugs, which basically are snails with no shells. Okay, anyway. So I forced myself to use those, and it was great not having to pack them back in my bag when I came home. So I would let you guys know, use those foil packets, and really consider that you probably have 2 uses per packet. So it ended up saving me quite a bit of room. All right, now for my birthday. My family knows I love palettes, so I have so many eyeshadow palettes here. It's insane. But to show you the things that aren't eyeshadow palettes. So one thing I have is this really great brush from Real Techniques. My husband got me this. I got this because I've been looking for like a chunky bronzer brush. I used that today with the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and I loved it. I feel like you can see it, and it was really fun to use, so that was great. I also have this mascara from Laura Geller. I've never used this specific mascara, and I cannot remember the last time I used one of her mascaras. This is the Glam Lash, so I will report back on how that works. And then I mentioned this in my travel video, but my sister gave me my gifts early, so did my mom. So she gave me this Fenty lipstick, matte lipstick, I think it is. I love it. I still can't remember. Thick. THICC. I loved this. I wore this several times on vacation with a gloss. It was really beautiful. I think they're still on sale. And then everything else are palettes. So my mom with that Laura Geller set got me 2 eyeshadow palettes, and they're so pretty. I'm going to be using these next in my little list of 5 looks. So this one is much cooler. And this one, I wouldn't say is full-on warm, but definitely more warm in color. I think the pairing of them is very beautiful, right? So I'm excited to use these. I always love a navy blue eye, and there is a navy blue there and this interesting green, and then this is just, it looks like springtime to me. I love it. So I'm going to use these next to see how these shadows work. God, I can't think the last time I used a Laura Geller eyeshadow. So I'm excited to use those. My kids, so cute, they went to Five Below and they got me this Wet n Wild, are these 10? Yeah, 10 pan shadow. I haven't gotten these since they reformulated. Like, I had the original like 8 pan. I had 2 of those that I got since I started watching YouTube. I had never had them before, to be honest, but anyway, so I thought this was cool, and I really like these 2 transition shades. I think this will be a fun palette. So, and it definitely has a more neutral side than this one, more colorful. And there's some colors that are really quite beautiful. So that one will be fun. Then the palette that I'm working through right now, that I'm actually using on my eye, what would you guess? What would you guess? It doesn't look like it should. It's the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. So I used Deep Dive in my crease, all in my crease, and then I put on top rhodium, I think that's how you pronounce that word, all on the lid, and I just love it. It seems like such an odd, like look at this whole palette, right? And then these two colors just seem so odd, but I love that she included them because it allows for me to create this look in a very different palette. And the lip, if you're wondering, is a combination of Amulet by Urban Decay, which is a metallic kind of brown color. I put that on top of Maybelline number 760 Gone Greige. That's where you get most of the color, and then I just topped it with the metallic just so that it wasn't so cool toned, and I really like it. It's not a color I use often, but I like this combination. Okay, and then the other palettes that I got, my friend Allison got me two Juvia's Place palettes. Now, remember how I said I shopped at 11:59, 11:47, the day before my no-buy started. I was shopping on Juvia's Place palette, on Juvia's Place, their website, and I was texting back and forth with Allison, like, what should I get, what should I get? And she's like, oh, why don't you get the Violets palette? And I was like, this is the Violets palette. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she loves purples on me, and she's like, come on. She's like, why don't you get it? And I put it in my cart, took it out of my cart, put it in my cart, took it out of my cart, like whatever. And then finally I was like, no, I didn't pick it up. And so she did. So she got me the Violets palette, which will be very fun to get some looks out of. And then she got me the Nudes palette, this is very much the colors that she likes and everyone needs in their collection. This is just like an easy palette to use all the time, and then this will be really fun. So it will be fun to pair these and to do some looks with them. I'm so happy that I have these, and now I have quite a collection of Juvia's Place palettes. I'll be able to give a full review, but short story, it's fabulous. I love their stuff. And then, you can't tell, but today I am wearing a Harry Potter shirt that says, I'd rather be in Hogwarts. So, I don't think I've shared this. I'm an English teacher. I love reading. Oh my god, there's still other stuff. I gotta show you. Anyway, I love reading, and I actually started reading Harry Potter when I was in college because we looked at it. It had come out, I think, when I remember my cousin reading them, and I think I was like in late middle school, early high school. But I felt too old for those books, and I was reading other books, so I didn't actually get introduced to it until I took a children's literature class in college, and I went insane. It was when at least the first 3 books were out, and then I got the rest on the day that they were released, and I specifically remember like 2 more were released while I was in college, and then 2 more, so 4 and 5, yeah, and then 6 and 7 were released when I was already teaching. I still have the stains of tears on book 6 at the end, and I'm not going to ruin it if you haven't read Harry Potter, but that was a rough ending. Still having issues with it. Anyway, so when I had my children, when my daughter was about to go into kindergarten, I'm like, I want to start reading her a book. And I had planned to read Little House in the Big Woods to her, which was my first real chapter book, and I absolutely loved it. And my son, who is 18 months younger than she is, so he was 3, he said, Mommy, are there any villains in this? He went through a major villain stage, which frightened us fully. But anyway, so are there any villains in this? And I was like, there's a panther, there's a famine, there's, pioneer life, but not really a villain. So I said, oh, you know what? Let me see if they'll get into Harry Potter. Well, the saga that began. So my son was 3 years old. His birthday is in October, so it was July when he was 3. A few months later he was going to turn 4, and he sat and listened with my daughter to all of book 1. I read to them 20 minutes every night, and that led to book 2 and book 3 and book 4, and we finished book 7 just at the beginning of quarantine. So we've read them all. We've watched all the movies. Harry Potter is a big part of our life. Right now we are building a Lego Harry Potter clue game. So when I found out that Ulta had Harry Potter themed palettes, I lost my mind. I put them immediately on my list for my husband to buy. I'm like, order these now. And he went and he ordered them. So I got the Slytherin palette and I got the Gryffindor palette, mainly because I liked these tones. I thought I would use these the most. Everyone, Gryffindor is amazing. I mean, I hate all Slytherin because of the books, but real life people, you're great. I I know I'm supposed to like Snape. I don't, and you're not going to convince me that I should. Anyway, so I just thought I love greens on my eye. So he got me these two palettes. I'm so excited for them, and I was shocked at the quality. I really got them more for sentimental reasons. Like, I wasn't really necessarily thinking that they were going to be like amazing quality, but look at that. That's another one, but look at those two. So I'm really excited to use these. I know some people like have had a reaction that these are very muted, and they're, they're expecting like a snake looking bright green, or golds that really, really stand out. And I would just say, I think these palettes were made for the everyday person. Like, I think there's a color story that comes from Harry Potter, but I don't think they're trying to mimic the true colors, because I mean, I might wear a bright red on my eye and a bright green, and I might go to work like that, and I do, but most people don't. So I think these palettes are very approachable to people. The only thing I wish that all of these names were Harry Potter themed. They have a few, like Chocolate Frog, but and Mandrake and the Howler, but there's a color named Peach and Pure. Like, there's Fluffy, okay, Moon, Black Lake. but they're, I could have named these. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll name them. But my son was so super excited when I got those, but he thinks he got them. And then the last thing I want to show you is my mother-in-law had asked me what I wanted, and I said I wanted some things from Honest Beauty. There's a couple makeup products that I have had, and then some that I really wanted to try. So I've had these lip crayons before. I absolutely love them. This is in the color Sheer Rose. I'm very excited for this one. Let me just find. It's exactly what it says, a sheer rose. I think it will look, so pretty, and it's so easy to use. It's like that sweatpant makeup that I'm talking about. She got me this, which I haven't tried before. It is their mascara that has a lash primer and then the mascara on the other side. I'm very excited to use this, and I will report. And then she got me this liquid lipstick, and it's in the color Fearless, and I love the color. So I'm excited to use those things and get to know the Honest Beauty brand a little bit. I use their diapers for my children, but I didn't, really get into the makeup and stuff besides lip crayon and a lip balm that I actually love. So those were the makeup products that I got for my birthday. I got a couple other things, but they're more like housewares and things like that. But my family was so generous, and this will definitely keep me going throughout the next couple months. I am looking forward to some months of struggle. I think this month was a little bit too easy, and I wouldn't mind a little bit of struggle in this. But I'm excited to do some more declutters and film some looks and just keep myself busy with the makeup that I have. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to my thoughts and seeing some of the things that you'll see in future videos, and I'm hoping you join me on this journey of using the stuff we have, loving the stuff we have, and maybe getting rid of the stuff that's just cluttering up our lives. So please join me. Please comment down below if you have any thoughts or questions, or if you just want to, give me some encouragement when times get tough. And like I said, please consider subscribing. I hope everyone has a great day. Bye-bye.